We go. Alrighty, hello everybody. It's Robin and I am live. I know, right? It feels like it has been a minute. And it has been a minute since I have been live. But thank you guys so much for your support. You guys have been amazing. When I tell you the text messages, the cards, the Cash Apps, the Uber Eats, all of that stuff. You guys have been so generous in letting me know that you love me. And so for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, almost a month ago, I lost my father. So really this whole year, I haven't been able to come on live and do all the stuff that I wanted to do. I'm the primary caretaker for my mother and my father, of course, at the time. And so I had to shift. And so I had to make sure they were taken care of. So that's why I wasn't able to go live, on a set schedule and all of that. And, I had to do what I had to do. So my father has transitioned and I took, I guess it'll be a month this week. So I've taken a month off. I have done some pre-recorded videos, but I have not been live. Oh my goodness. I don't remember the last time that I was able to go live. So those of you that follow me, I do have help. I have a lady that cooks and cleans and does my mom and dad's meals with my meals too. And all of that. So she was a great, great, great help. And she's still here. I still have her helping. And so that took some of the pressure off. But, being a caretaker is still a full-time job. So with that said, I just wanted to kind of share where I've been and why I haven't been able to go live. So I know my dad, though, is resting. He's as my niece said, we miss him, but we're so glad that he's no longer in pain. I tell you, my dad, these last 6 months really, really, really took him through. But he was such a trooper and so great about everything, just never complained. It was a joy to be able to take care of him, down to the last second, holding his hand the minute he took his last breath, all of that. So I thank God for that. But now I'm back. I am focused on business. My dad would want me to. He was so godly proud of what I was doing as an entrepreneur. He kept telling me he wanted me to be a girl bishop. So, who knows if that'll ever happen. But I am excited, though, that I get to do what I love. Now, a lot of you, of course, because of the pandemic, you are working from home. And so you're getting to experience what a lot of us that work for ourselves deal with in working from home. So I hope that you're using this time wisely, that you are getting something out of it. I always tell my coaching students, do not let this time come and go and you don't have something that you produced, whether it's an ebook, whether it's a class, an online course, whatever it is. Just get something out of this time that you're able to work from home. Use the time that you would travel to go to the office or the time you would use to travel to come home. Use that time and invest it in yourself. So here we go. Let me get started here. Of course, those of you that are following me over on YouTube, I want to thank you so much for that. Hold on, yeah, I'm doing too much. Sorry. Those of you follow me over on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up, as well as hit the alert so that you are made aware when I go live again. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. So as soon as I finish playing my little promo, y'all know I got to play my promo, I'll be back with the teaching. And again, I got some great handouts. If you'd like to see a copy of the handouts, just jump on over to YouTube and you will be able to see what I am doing. All right, so here we go. All right, everybody, we are back again. Of course, I am teaching Reinventing Vacation Bible School. So I might be able to teach actually from my copy of my handout here. So let me just go ahead and try that. Again, thank you guys so much. If you are new and you haven't hung out with me, I am Robin Ware, and I'm a church consultant. I do a few things, but I'm a church consultant, which just means that I have the honor and the pleasure to work with churches, and I teach marketing, I teach social media, and of course, hospitality. Yes, I am your go-to girl as it relates to hospitality and customer service. But today I am teaching on Reinventing Vacation Bible School. You know, again, with the pandemic, we have definitely had to switch how we do church. I don't know about you, but I miss, I do get to go to church because I'm part of our team that produces our weekly or twice a week broadcast, our online broadcast. So, our online service, I should say. But I miss seeing you all. I miss, not getting to touch and hug and, all that stuff. But I can only imagine those of you that aren't getting to go at least, once or twice a week like I am. So I definitely understand what you're going through. But I want to encourage you to still ramp up your programming. Don't let, just because your building is sitting idle, don't let your programming go idle. Type that in the comment box, you guys, for me. Type that under the video. Do not let your programming go idle. And Vacation Bible School is one of the best tools. In fact, it is the #1 summer outreach program. The number one summer outreach program. So we want to make sure that you are utilizing that for your audience. Let me just see what you guys are saying over here in the comments. Hold on one second. Please share the broadcast. Let folks know that I am on. Thank you guys so much. I know, right? Some people are saying they're so glad to see me back on. Thank you. I really, really appreciate your support. Okay, let's see here. Let me get logged on.
Are you okay? I'm good.
All right, hold on one second. There we go. Don't want you to talk. Here we go. All right, good. Okay. We are rocking and rolling over here. Thank you so much. Yep, my dad did love my devotion time. Hey, Nicole. Good. Don't allow your programs to go idle. So, Vacation Bible School is definitely a program that you want to keep going. So let's get started with the teaching. Of course, Reinventing Vacation Bible School. So, of course, is Vacation Bible School necessary? Absolutely. It is necessary. Again, it is the #1 summer outreach tool. It brings us together as a congregation, and it focuses on teaching our youth and, of course, some of our adult workers how to evangelize. Think about that. It brings us together as a congregation. This month of July, there are 31 days in July. And so I was kind of fumbling around and I stumbled across a Proverbs 31 challenge. Proverbs, anytime we hear Proverbs 31, we always think of, the woman, right? But there are 31 chapters in Proverbs. And so the challenge is that every single day you read from a chapter in the book of Proverbs. And so what we've done at my church, I implemented that as programming, and we're doing it on Facebook, and we're challenging our members to read a chapter every day. But to help them, to remind them to read their chapter, we have one of our leaders read the first up to 10 scriptures. Some of them are reading the first 6. It just kind of depends on, the flow of the scripture and if it makes sense to continue reading. But we have somebody at 5 o'clock every day. We post a video of them reading the chapter for that day. But again, just up to the first 10 scriptures. All right. So that's a part of programming. Same thing. It's an outreach tool. We're helping. My goal in creating that for our church was to give them a tool to use to even evangelize for outreach purposes. They can share it with their friends. They can share it on their timelines. It is a great idea. So Vacation Bible School is like that, but of course, on steroids, because everybody knows about Vacation Bible School. Unfortunately, it's gotten a bad rap as being outdated and not current. But that ends now. That's right. That ends now. So I want to encourage you to get something to take notes with, because this is going to be some really good information. So as you think about Vacation Bible School, you're going to need a roadmap. So I put a little roadmap together for you. Here we go. Create your roadmap so that you know exactly where you are going. And as with any map, you always start with the end in mind. Where is it that we are trying to go? So for a lot of you, you have been, streaming since March 14th. I can never forget that date. I literally had done a series of engagements in Detroit, and then I was in New York that Saturday, and then I came back Sunday, and we were streaming online only. So March 14th is when we started this whole, not being able to worship together. And so if all you've done is you're just going live on social media, you've got to bring back some programming. You have got to bring back some programming. So my Proverbs 31 challenge is a part of that. And of course, Vacation Bible School. So it begins with the roadmap. Thinking about the end, what are your goals? Why would you want to have Vacation Bible School, or why is it that you'd want to have some sort of programming? And of course, for outreach purposes. That's one reason. Number two, y'all type this in for me. So outreach. Number two is discipleship training, right? It gives people that are already saved the tools they need to become disciples. You can't have disciples if you're not teaching them how to perform discipleship. All right. So outreach, discipleship, and then of course just fellowship. It's really important. It's really important that we still fellowship one with another. And I'm so afraid that a lot of churches are losing those that they consider to be members because they're not engaging them. A lot of us, again, we just jumped in there March 14th and we went online, and we didn't really have time to sit down with the creative team and come up with some strategies of, if we could only, worship online, how would we still do and accomplish what it is we need to do to honor the mission and even the goals of the ministry. Well, now we can put the brakes on, because we know we're going to be out here for a little bit. And we can start that process. So kind of what I'm doing even with Vacation Bible School, you can use these strategies for your church. So starting with the end in mind, outreach, discipleship, and fellowship, we want to make sure that Vacation Bible School allows us to achieve all of those things. And no one person has all the answers. Even if you're the senior pastor, I just don't believe that God only gives you creative ideas and vision. I know that we have to have a head, because, there's division if you got, more than one head. I get that. But you need a team so that your team can help you figure out the steps to accomplish the vision and the goals. All right. So starting that process with your creative team. So y'all know I got to put my glasses on so I can read this little tiny writing. So this team would, be comprised of formerly your Vacation Bible School directors. But this is how you reinvent VBS. You expand that team, and you're going to add people that understand planning, people that understand scripting, and people that understand leading. All right. So why do I say it like that? Because a lot of people just think of VBS from a curriculum standpoint. What's going to be our theme, what's going to be our crafts, and what kind of songs will we sing, which all of that is important. But if you're going to reinvent VBS, it's just like a surgeon. Whenever a surgeon goes in for surgery, they've got a team with them there so that all the aspects, look, I'm talking about surgery. I've been binge watching Lennox Hill on Netflix. So I guess that's why that came to the forefront of my mind. But, the surgeon isn't the only person in the operating room. If I'm the patient, I want more than just the surgeon there. I want some nurses. I want some, assistants. I need a team to make sure that I get the results I'm supposed to get. So it's the same thing. Expand your creative team beyond those that typically do Vacation Bible School. All right. So you need people that can help you plan, script, and lead. So planning, let's talk about that. Why is planning important? When you work with people that know how to plan, they are more conscious of time. They are more conscious of logistics. That's what I should have said. They're more conscious of logistics. And that's why it's important that you have them on your team. You can sit there with a creative group that has all these great ideas, but if they don't understand logistics, it could be a nightmare. There's a lot of systems out here. Do you use Zoom? Do you use Eventbrite? Reg Online, whatever. Do you use these systems? Well, from a logistics standpoint, how does that work? How does that look? How does it impact our members? Does our demographic use those type of systems? Will they be overwhelmed? I've been consulting with churches, and I've literally had a client say to me, our seniors, we can't even, ask them about Facebook. They're just not open. And you know what? Shame on that ministry for not getting them to the point where they would be open. One of my creative ideas is that on Sundays after church, you have a fellowship meal with your seniors, and then you offer a computer course. You offer a Facebook course. You offer how to log in, how to log out. Just simple things. Don't try to give them the entire meal to digest when you're feeding them. Give them courses, right? So you sit down with them and say, this is what Facebook is. A lot of them are fearful of Facebook. Walk them through Facebook and the safety measures, security measures that they can take, all of that. Of course, now we're in the pandemic, so it's too late to do that. But those are things that ideally you would have been doing before the pandemic hit so that your seniors wouldn't be left out there just kind of hanging. So logistics are key, and you need someone on your Vacation Bible School team that understands and values logistics. And when I say values, I can't tell you how key that is. People that aren't really planners, they don't really value logistics. They think, okay, we'll have Vacation Bible School 7:00 every night. Well, how's that going to happen? What equipment do we need? Do our teachers that are going to present, do they have internet in their homes? A lot of us make assumptions that everybody has Wi-Fi. Even in that, do they have strong enough upload speeds? What about the logistics of pulling this off in excellence? So that's why you've got to have people that are planners as a part of your team. How are they going to register? What systems will they use? All of that matters. You don't want your attendees to become frustrated during the registration process so that they never even make it to Vacation Bible School. All right. So think about that. And Zoom has been having multiple issues with being spammed. I know they're working hard, and they've asked people to enable waiting rooms. They've done a lot of stuff, but I just saw somebody put on Twitter the other day that their Zoom got hacked. And when I say hacked, I mean pornographic hacked. We were doing a Zoom at the very beginning. We did a Zoom, a church-wide Zoom. So we had, over 100 people on our Zoom. And sure enough, we got hacked, and there were pornographic images. I mean, it was deplorable what these hackers put on our Zoom. So your logistics person will help you think through, well, if that happens, what are we going to do? The administrator of the Zoom account is the one that could shut it down if something like that happens. Well, what if the person that's administrating Zoom isn't in a position where they can sit and watch it the entire time? They might be able to get you started, but then they got to go off and do something else. You don't want that. You got to have somebody that can sit there and provide oversight during the entire Zoom. so that if any situation arises, they can handle it. All right. Good. All right. Let me see if you guys got any questions. Good. Hey, Carrie, glad to see you on. Thank you, Angela. Hey, Rhonda, glad to see you on, sweetheart. Good. Spirit of Golden said of Gideon finally received notification. Good stuff. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. All right. So your creative team is your VBS directors as well as people that can plan, script, and lead. So let's talk about script. It's really important that if we're going to reinvent Vacation Bible School, that it's not what people expect, that it has truly become reinvented. You know, typically with Vacation Bible School, hey there, I see you over there on Instagram, all my folks. Hey guys. But typically with Vacation Bible School, you know, you all come together at the beginning, you pray, you sing, and then you release people to go to their respective rooms. Well, how can you reinvent that? Well, I got some ideas for you. Scripting is how you reinvent that. So when all of your people log on, I want you to have some pre-recorded videos from either your leadership, your pastor, or maybe a celebrity. Listen, everybody's quarantined during these times. Use social media, make your connection. You know, we're all 6 degrees of, separation from somebody anyway. Use those connections and get some people to create some welcome videos that you can plug in at the beginning of Vacation Bible School, telling your attendees why they are glad that you participated or that they've participated in Vacation Bible School this year. Or maybe you have your creative team do a skit or some sort of treatment. Those of you in the entertainment world, you know what I mean by treatment. You put a treatment together and you film a video in your town square. You know, of course, we're social distancing, so it would be really fun to do it with mask on and, certain type of outfits. But do it and videotape it and have that. Maybe, and here's a third one, you have a lead character that pops up throughout Vacation Bible School that gives encouragement, that gives direction, that just adds that element of surprise so that Vacation Bible School feels different, that it is in essence, reinvented. All right. And then of course, you want to address, when we talk about script, you need to know what the curriculum is so that you can script it and it makes sense. For instance, every speaker or presenter that is a part of Vacation Bible School needs to reference certain things during their presentation. And so you script that for them, meaning you write it out for them. You tell them every time you go live, this is what you say, or this is what you say at the 2-minute mark, and this is what you say to close out. And then you also work with your editor. So when that person records their video and they send it into your team, your editor can go in and you script for your editor where you need certain lower thirds, or where you need certain GIFs, or where you need certain, pop-up things to happen to make the video interactive, to make the video fun, to even embed some live links underneath wherever the video is going to be played. I'll talk about that in just a second, but I'm just giving you some creative ways to reinvent Vacation Bible School. And it sounds like it's a production, because it is. We are making it a production. All right. So, some of you saying you're having trouble hearing over on IG, jump on over to YouTube, because it's loud and clear over here from my YouTube folks. All right. So, and then lastly, let's see. Your creative team should assist with marketing and public relations. It's really important that if you're going to attract a new audience to your Vacation Bible School, that you implement a marketing strategy. Of course, everybody talks about graphics and branding, which all of that's important, but your marketing team is going to help you figure out when certain things should drop, what time of the day, what should they say, what are the latest, slogans and sayings. And y'all know that have followed me for a while, I don't know lingo and slang and all that stuff, right? So everybody always teases me. So whatever the latest slang is, you can incorporate that as a part of your marketing efforts. Your marketing team also could tell you, hey, right now, XYZ show is popular, so maybe we take on those characters to introduce each segment of Vacation Bible School. So let's just say, for instance, I don't know if Barney's popular. He's probably not. Barney's probably been out, for 40 years, but whatever. But Barney could be your character that would introduce the segment for your young people. Or Paw Patrol. I think that's kind of newer. Yeah, I heard somebody talk about Paw Patrol. So Paw Patrol would be the characters that you would use to introduce the segment for that group that Paw Patrol speaks to. Now, for your adults, hey, you guys get somebody that would draw them in. Maybe, again, it's a local celebrity. Maybe you go to your favorite restaurant and you're sitting down and you're videotaping and you do an introduction of the session right before you start to eat, of course, social distancing and with your mask on. See, I'm giving you ways to be creative, all right? I want you to think about what you can do to really reinvent Vacation Bible School. And then, of course, discipleship. Again, if you're following me over on, let me take this off here. Sorry, guys. If you're following me over on YouTube, you're getting to see, there we go. You're getting to see me as well as the slide. So I want you to jump on over there if you'd like to see that. So discipleship, go ahead and think of creative ways. Okay, hold on, y'all. Because you know what? The people on Instagram, I'm sorry, you guys. The people on Instagram are saying they can barely hear me. So give me 1 second. In fact, let me just put up that slide again so you guys, good, over on YouTube can see the slide. And let me get my, let's see here. Oops. Is that better, you guys, over here on Instagram? Let me know if you guys can hear me better. All right. Let me just turn up the volume a little bit. There we go. All right, let me know if that's better. All right, is that better, you guys, over on Instagram? All right. Thank you. Yes, good. They're saying it is. Sorry about that. All right. But again, I'm over on YouTube hanging out. So let me get back to see where I was. All right, here we go. All right, so it's really important that from a discipleship standpoint that you teach. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Shannon. Thanks, Lady O'Neill. That you teach your team how to disciple online. That process is totally different. You got your marketing person, your PR person, but now you need a member of your discipleship team, because leading someone to Christ, the Romans road to salvation, that whole process, you've got to incorporate it online. So what does that look like? Well, do you need a landing page somewhere to send the person? Do you need a Zoom room so that when you're live during Vacation Bible School, if someone accepts Christ or they want prayer, you can send them to a separate Zoom room? Or do you create a playlist on YouTube of videos that they can watch that will onboard them to Christ? I know you're saying, like, onboard them to Christ. Yes, think about it. When we get saved, right, we understand that we've had a spiritual experience. But then also quickly, right, we have a natural experience. And so what does that look like? What does that feel like? So because we don't have the luxury of hugging somebody and, wiping their tears and, welcoming them to Christ in the flesh, you could send them to a playlist on YouTube that says, this is an external hug from me to you, letting you know that you're not alone. That right now the enemy may be trying to convince you that what you've experienced isn't real. That your life now has to be perfect and that you can no longer make any mistakes. So we have to do whatever it takes to refute the enemy. So maybe having that playlist on YouTube created again with the branding of Vacation Bible School, so that when that person is leading them to Christ and they onboard them through this playlist, they feel like they're still connected to the VBS experience. All right. Does that sound good? Give me some thumbs up, you guys, if you guys have any questions. Oh, good. Apostle Mom Gail Roberts' house is telling me Peppa Pig. That is a current character. I'm gonna have to go check out who Peppa Pig is. I don't know who that is, so y'all know I'm not. Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm not gonna say that. But anyway, amen. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Let's see here. Okay. So let's keep going. Let's keep going though. And then implementation, you guys, if you don't get anything from this teaching today, implementation, that is the third part of creating your roadmap. So 3 elements to it: your creative team, your discipleship process, and then of course, implementation. So how are you going to actually roll out VBS? What does that process look like? So here we go. Technology, of course, is going to play a key role because everybody is going to be virtual. So what's that technology look like? Well, you need some sort of home base. Everybody type home base. You need some sort of home base for people to connect with. And don't take the easy way out and just say, oh, we'll do it on Zoom and we'll share the Zoom link. If you're going to do that, at least create home base in the form of a Facebook group on your Facebook page. So you would create a group on your Facebook page called, VBS. And then inside of that group is where you would post your Zoom. Now, I still would want you to have a registration process, and then I'm getting ahead of myself, but as a part of that registration process, it would loop them to that group. So that was a good way to say it and not give you guys too much. I don't want to overwhelm you. Let me just tell you guys something. I recently hired a new coach, and so I'm so excited about it. I am truly a coach that's coachable. And one of the things that this coach shared with me, it blew my mind. And part of that is being more responsible with what I give away for free. Like, I'm a big giver. I love sharing and giving information, but she challenged me on pulling back a little bit because, people can only take things in bite sizes. Give them time to digest it. And then once they get, that fills them up. And then once they become hungry again, then they'll come back. So that's why I'm trying to be more controlled about the information I give you. So y'all pray for me because, I'm just used to just giving it all. But I'm going to be more intentional about giving you bite sizes. All right. So technology, again, where's home base? How are people going to stay connected to you? And people want to connect with organizations that operate in excellence. And so it's really important that you give them the opportunity to experience excellence in your ministry. And I just don't believe that Zoom gives you that right look. I think that you need to use a system, whether it be StreamYard, Be Live, or Switcher Studios, whatever it is. You need some sort of system that gives them that experience. Or, of course, you take all of the footage and you make it into one big long video that your tech team plays at the start through the whole time of your Vacation Bible School, because they would have taken that footage and branded it and, put lower thirds and GIFs and all of that stuff, as I mentioned earlier, so that it creates an experience versus what's expected. All right. Good stuff. All right. I see you guys in the comments. Good. Thank you. Let's see here. Oh, good. All righty. Carrie says, our Armor Bear Ministry has a Zoom prayer on Saturday mornings. I will try an intro video. Excellent idea. See? Good. I love that. Thank you, Carrie. So here we go. Now, this is probably what you guys would have thought I would have talked about first, but it is not, because I wanted to talk logistics. See, I'm a planner, so that's why I wanted to talk about the technical part. So number 2 is to be creative with the name. Be creative with your name, meaning you do not have to call, be creative with your name. You do not have to call it Vacation Bible School. As a matter of fact, I would encourage you not to call it Vacation Bible School, right? I would challenge you to call it like our Summer Connect. You don't have to explain that it replaces Vacation Bible School. Just say our Summer Connect or our Summer Institute. Summer Institute may sound even a little too formal, but Summer Connect or, whatever kind of cute name concept that you can come up with, then name your Vacation Bible School that. Again, we're talking about ways to reinvent Vacation Bible School, and that is key, is to not call it Vacation Bible School. All right, maybe it's Kingdom Kids Camp, something like that, or the Kingdom Camp for campreneurs. So campreneurs would be for your entrepreneurs. You got to make Vacation Bible School, if you're really going to engage your church, you've got to make it more than just for your children and your youth. So again, that's why that creative team is so important. That creative team is going to challenge you on that. So you've got something for your kids, you've got something for your youth, you got something for your young adults, you got something for married couples, but what about your kingdompreneurs? So this might be Camppreneur, Camp Kingdompreneur, whatever you come up with. But challenge them, and that brings a whole new audience to your formerly known as VBS. All right, good stuff. All right, so be creative with the name. And then let's jump on to who should be on your Vacation Bible School creative team. 3 folks: your curriculum folks, your technology folks, and your marketing folks. I think you kind of figured that out from what I've been sharing. So expand your team. If you're only focused on curriculum folks, get some technology people on the team and get your marketing and PR folks on the team. Your technology team, again, they're going to help you with what systems you ought to use. There are tons of systems out there. Zoom is not the only system. And of course, Zoom has a fee attached to it. There are a lot of free systems, so be open to that as well. And then it's really important that you help your team present in excellence. So all of your instructors, I've got a list here on YouTube. Let me read these from my Instagram folks. But you need to provide them with written protocols so that they understand what's expected when they're recording their video for their presentation. Now, some of you, might be open to letting the presenters come to church and record. At my church, we actually are setting up a media suite. As a matter of fact, it'll be ready Thursday. But, I identified a room in our church. I identified the equipment we need. And now we've got our own production suite in our church. Now, it's nothing that, costs thousands of dollars to set up. Not at all. As a matter of fact, it probably cost $150 to set up, because we already had some furniture I was able to gather, and the room looks nice. But we ordered our lights, we ordered our stands for our video equipment, and then of course we'll all use our own phones, so we don't even really need video cameras. And so one of the goals is to step up the way we produce our online service. So we're going to be able to do that in that room. So as a part of your, formerly known as Vacation Bible School, anyone that's presenting, you can tell them, as long as they're not sick, they don't have a temperature, they pass all the CDC guidelines, they can come in and they can record their session. That allows you to control the level of excellence of their presentation. Have a green screen behind them or have a nice setup behind them like I do, whatever works. But, have microphones. As a matter of fact, this is a microphone that I'm trying out. I've got, really expensive microphones that I normally use, but this was $16, you guys. It literally plugs into my iPad. See, it plugs right into my iPad. And then I also ordered one that has like a 20-foot cord. So in our production suite, when we, have somebody in there recording them, we can social distance. And you won't have to see, the cord won't, they'll do a better job than I'm doing right now hiding it, but it's long enough that it will be able to reach clear across the room. All right. So with Vacation Bible School, or formerly known as that, they will come in and they will record their session. That way you get the quality that you need. But if they are going to record from home, then you give them protocols. And again, here we go with the list of protocols for them. Make sure you address lighting, their background, their backdrop, their microphone, their presentation slides. If they're going to use slides like I'm using, there's certain things that need to be on there. If you look on here, you see that I've got my logo, Let's Talk Church. You might have your, whatever you're calling your, formerly known as VBS, you would have that branding on there. You would have the colors, whatever it is, so that everything looks cohesive. So you're not just having people create their own handouts and it looks like, which way is up. No. You're going to make sure you control that. And then their attire. What should they wear? And then the timeline. If you tell them that their presentation should be 12 minutes, then it should be 12 minutes. And then if you need them to do a 1-minute intro in that 12 minutes, let them know that so that you get the finished product that you need. And probably one of the biggest tips is that they should start speaking 5 seconds after they hit record. That gives your editing team enough time to either add an intro, or to, put a graphic on, or to, just add something else to it versus them immediately starting to speak when they hit record. All right. So those are the presenter notes. We're almost done, you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with me here. All right. So next, of course, I want to talk about, let's talk tech. Now, if you really want to reinvent VBS, is you're going to make it so that people feel like this is something they want to continue. Now, you may take off the month of July, you may take off the month of August, whatever month, but VBS, or formerly known as VBS, can still be happening because of automation. And so have your technical people give you ideas that you can follow to extend the life of VBS. So maybe VBS is 1 week, but then following it every Tuesday, they're going to get a touch from the VBS team. And it might be a recap video. It might be a workbook. It might be a PDF download. It might be a link to a YouTube playlist, whatever it is. But that's what your tech team would help you create. All right. Your tech team also can help you with your email opt-ins, which is really important, your Facebook ads, texting technology, as well as mobile app technology. All right. So think about that as well as it relates to putting together this whole process. And then, of course, I talked about your timeline. I talked about scripting, but now I want to talk about the timeline. So let me just jump there really quick. Again, if you're following me over on YouTube, you're seeing the slides. But make sure that the timeline is yours. If you typically have service in 1 hour, then that's what VBS should replicate. You don't get to go rogue because this isn't church. You still need to follow the order of the house. Start on time, end on time. If you normally, have to follow certain protocols as it relates to worship. Worship is, 4 minutes or 8 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever it is. Well, then that's what it is for VBS, because you want people ideally that when VBS is over, that they feel connected to your ministry and they might want to join. And so what you don't want to have happen is that they join and they start watching your service and they're going, this is nothing like what I experienced at VBS. So make sure that VBS, that you're not on there, talking about girlfriend, let's just go ahead and have a good time. No, we're professional. We make sure that we have microphones. We follow the order of the house. All right. So keep that in mind as well. Woo! We got through it, you guys. I hope that helped you as you think about creative ways to reinvent VBS. I didn't say this. Again, I told you I'm trying to learn on how to pull back some. But, buy the domain name for whatever it is you name your VBS. Even if you don't build out a whole new website, you would need a landing page. And I did tell you that. So you would have a landing page on your church website if that's where you've made VBS home. So you would take that domain name that is the same name as your VBS program, and you would just forward it to the page that you created on your church website. So instead of saying xyzchurch.org/VBS, that is how you would set it up on your website. But then you would have kingdomkidscamp.com as the name of your, reinvented VBS. Then you would just promote kingdomkidscamp.com and just forward that to your xyzchurch.org/VBS. Does that make sense, guys? Yes, because we want to make it easy. We want people to be able to understand what it is that we are doing. Okay, sorry, guys. Let me get back over here on the screen. All right. Hold on. Sorry. I am. There we go. All right, I'm back. Sorry. Let's see. Okay, she said, need to see my microphone. Sorry about that. So the microphone that I was showing you guys, literally, it's just plugged right into the port of my iPad. This is the device that houses the production suite that I use to do my videos, and then it's just clipped right on my sweater, and I think it was $16. As a matter of fact, let me show you guys. I have let's see here. I've ordered a few because I wasn't sure. Okay, I wasn't sure exactly what I was doing, so I ordered a few. So this is one that you guys might want to invest in as well. This has a 20-foot cord, and it actually has 2 mics. So that way, if you've got, maybe you're recording a class for your vacation Bible school and you've got 2 presenters. So you would be able to mic both of them at the same time. Again, this is assuming that you don't have, a full production suite with a big team that can mic all these different people. This is just something you plug right into your computer or your iPad, whatever it is. And for those of you that, your iPad, let me just grab this. I cleaned out my little drawer today, so I got to reach. If this is one, it's got the 3 rings on it. Well, here's the adapter. It's the lightning to head jack adapter. This was like $9. This little adapter will allow you to plug this end into it, and then it's got the lightning adapter to go into your iPad. So it makes it where you can convert it so that it works. All right. So this one with the 2 mics, I think was $35. So because I never know, who we're going to be interviewing in our media suite at church, I wanted to have that. And I didn't want it to be where we would have to have our media team be present. Our marketing team can do it. Again, all we need is our cameras, which you can use your phones. And as a matter of fact, you guys, I'm going to show you if I can do this. Let's see here. Yep. I'm going to show you right there. All right. So you can actually see my setup. So right there, you see I've got my iPad on a tripod, and then I've got an iPhone on this is actually a tripod, and I've got the holder, and then I've got a light on it. That's literally the equipment that you need if you are going to set up the ability to record in your church, and you don't want to have your entire media team to be present to help with the production of that. All right. So let me just check here and see if you guys have any questions over here on YouTube. Good. Thank you. Good feedback, you guys. Awesome. All right. So, of course, I got to say, I need to thank my, can y'all believe it? Your girl's got an actual sponsor, Acre Optique, for my glasses. They provide me with my glasses for all of my different broadcasts. So I want to thank them for the glasses. And then, let's see here. Who else? I want to make sure. For those of you that had questions even about when I was talking about setting up the Facebook group, again, I didn't go too in depth with that, but if you got questions, I'll put the link in the description box to my book, The Ultimate Guide to Facebook for Churches. I go in depth in that book, very detailed about how to set up your Facebook group. I will just go ahead and say that if you are, creating home base and you don't want to use Zoom and you want to use something free, that the Facebook group is my go-to recommendation for sure. And Facebook has recently created some new ways to have groups online, but I want to suggest that you look at doing that Facebook group. All right. Whew, I got through it. Thank you guys so much for your patience. I know we had a little bit of a rough start, but we did it. So any questions, you guys, of course, make sure you are subscribed to my email list so that you'll receive notifications when I am sending out information about upcoming events. We'd love to have you guys participate. And then there is my Cash App if you want to help contribute to the cost of the production of this show. Of course, I got lights, I got camera equipment, I got microphones, all that stuff that I shared with you guys. So it's just Robin M. Ware Speaks, $ Robin M. Ware Speaks, if you would like to contribute to the cost of producing this show. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you. As I said, I'm back. I'll be on Mondays doing Let's Talk Church. I'll be back on Wednesdays talking to all my event planners. So I'm looking forward to that. Alrighty, so meet me back here on Wednesday at 1 o'clock, and I will be talking to my